Christianity and the Origin of Capitalism, by Karl Marx. In the annals of history, the interplay between religion and economic systems poses intriguing questions regarding the foundations of societal organization. This essay endeavors to explore the relationship between Christianity and the emergence of capitalism, illuminating the ways in which Christian doctrine intertwined with economic practices, ultimately shaping the dynamics of Western societies. The fundamental assertion is that Christianity, by embedding individualism and personal salvation into its core teachings, inadvertently facilitated the birth of capitalist economic structures that prioritize profit and accumulation. To comprehend the emergence of capitalism, one must first consider the historical context of Christian thought. Early Christianity, with its message of salvation and personal responsibility, diverged from the communal and collective ethos of earlier religious traditions. The love thy neighbor precept emphasized personal morality over systematic social justice, thereby fostering a focus on individual rather than collective well-being. As this religion spread, especially in its Protestant form, it nurtured a culture where personal wealth and success became markers of divine favor, a stark deviation from the communal sharing that characterized earlier, more collectivist beliefs. The Protestant Reformation, a critical turning point in Christian history, marked a decisive shift towards individualism and the sanctification of personal enterprise. The theologians of this movement articulated a theology that valorized hard work, frugality, and the accumulation of personal wealth as signs of God's grace. This ideological shift provided a fertile ground for the development of capitalist ethos that promotes competition and individual gain. Figures like John Calvin advocated for the moral legitimacy of profit, intertwining economic activity with a divine mandate. As a consequence, the burgeoning capitalist class found theological backing for its ambitions, leading to the elevation of private property, individual rights, and market activity as virtuous pursuits. Capitalism, emerging from the ashes of feudal economies characterized by obligation and communal ties, could only flourish in an environment bereft of collective responsibility. The Protestant ethic encouraged a detachment from communal obligations and, in doing so, paved the way for a market-driven society. Labor became a commodity detached from individual identity and social context, responsive to the fluctuating demands of the market, a radical transformation from earlier economic arrangements that valued social relationships. Moreover, Christianity's emphasis on the afterlife fostered a disconnection from earthly consequences. The ascetic lifestyle preached by various Christian sects, particularly within Protestant traditions, encouraged self-denial and a preoccupation with the spiritual realm. Herein lies a paradox. As individuals withdrew from societal obligations in search of personal salvation, they simultaneously became entrenched in a system of market relations that prioritized monetary accumulation over human connections. The capitalist mode of production found great utility in this religious ethos, as it rendered the exploitation of labor acceptable within the framework of divine providence. Furthermore, the institutional church wielded power and resources, establishing itself not merely as a spiritual authority but also as a central player in the economic landscape. The church's massive landholdings and its role in financial operations facilitated emerging capitalist enterprises. The clergy, as mediators of divine will, further legitimized the economic policies that favored wealth accumulation, confounding religious morality with economic expediency. As capitalism took root, it constructed an ideological justification that transcended individual cultures, establishing principles that resonated across European societies. The narratives of personal responsibility and meritocracy became entangled with the rise of capitalism, crafting a belief system that promoted competition and individual ambition. As a result, the common worker found themselves trapped in a paradox. While they labored for the enrichment of the few, they were taught that their economic plight was a reflection of their moral and personal failings. Thus, economic doctrines supported by Christianity effectively masked the systemic inequalities birthed by capitalism. In conclusion, Christianity, particularly in its Protestant expressions, played a significant role in the development of capitalist economies by promoting individualism, personal responsibility, and the legitimacy of wealth accumulation as divinely ordained. In cultivating an ethos that separated moral responsibility from community connection, Christianity inadvertently laid the groundwork for capitalist structures built on exploitation and commodification. As we navigate the complexities of our modern world, it is imperative to understand how these historical intertwining of Christian doctrine and capitalist formation continues to shape our societal structures. We must confront this legacy to envision a future where economic systems prioritize collective well-being over individual profit, unearthing the communal ties obscured by the historical alliance between capitalism and Christian ideology. Only through this awakening can we forge a path toward a more just and equitable society, one free from the oppressive chains of profit-driven motives and their theological justifications.